The night sky over Earth looked peaceful. Stars shined like tiny diamonds. But deep in space, far beyond Pluto, something was moving, and it was not peaceful. In a small underground room inside the Global Deep Space Observatory, alarms began to beep. Dr. Lena Park rubbed her tired eyes. It was 3:47 a.m. She had been watching space scans for 6 hours. Nothing had happened all night, until now. Unknown object detected, the AI computer spoke. Trajectory, inbound. Speed, 0.4 light speed. Lena's heart skipped a beat. What? That's impossible, she whispered. She typed fast. The data didn't lie. Something huge, almost 30 kilometers wide, was moving toward the solar system, and it was coming fast. She ran to wake Director Malik. Within minutes, red lights flashed across the global network. The data was sent to every major space agency, ESA, JAXA, even military defense systems. The object wasn't natural. It wasn't a comet. It was changing direction like a ship in a high-security war room beneath Geneva. Military leaders and scientists from all over the world gathered. U.S. Space Command pointed at it. This is where it was first seen, he said, tapping just outside Neptune's orbit. And this is its path. The red line moved straight toward Mars, orbitant, then Earth. It's not slowing down, said Dr. Malik, and it's not sending any signal. Could it be a rogue drone? Asked a French officer. No, Lena replied. It's too big. And it changed course when it passed the Kuiper Belt. That means someone's controlling it. Have we tried to communicate binary pulses, even open frequencies? And Rhodes asked. She shook her head. No reply, just silence. Or maybe it doesn't want to talk, Lena replied, her voice quiet. The world didn't know yet. The news was not public. But at military bases and deep space stations, humans prepared for the worst. The United Nations held an emergency meeting. Every country agreed. Earth was facing first contact, and maybe an invasion. For the first time in human history, all nations united under one banner, the Human Defense Command HDC. Old rivalries were forgotten. War budgets shifted. Satellites were armed. Secret space weapons, hidden for decades, were activated. A message was sent across all military channels. Code Black, incoming unknown. Estimated arrival, 6 days to Mars orbit, 9 days to Earth. On the dark side of the moon, inside a hidden base called Outpost 9, something ancient came online. Massive steel doors opened, buried deep beneath the surface. An enormous warship HDS Vengeance powered up. It had been sleeping for 50 years, built during the Cold War, but never used. Now, its systems hummed. Lights glowed red. Turrets rotated. Its AI woke up and scanned the sky. Meanwhile, across Earth, people began noticing small things. Military, jets flying at night, news channels acting strangely quiet. Rumors on forums, is something coming? A blurry image leaked online, a dark object beyond Neptune. Then, it happened. A moon base orbiting Saturn used by scientists for space mining went silent. No warning, no signal, just gone. The last image sent from the base showed something terrifying, a long, sharp shape like a blade moving past the station. Then static. Earth's leaders saw the footage. Panic spread inside the command centers. The object had fired some kind of beam-pure energy that cut through the station like paper. No. He slammed a button. We respond now. The president of the United Earth Council gave the order. A cold final message was sent toward the object. Turn back. Do not approach. This is your last warning. No reply. In orbit around Earth, satellites opened. Defense lasers powered up. Humanity watched the sky. On Mars, engineers began to evacuate civilian stations. Soldiers landed with weapons and shields. Mars would be the first battlefield if things went wrong. Dr. Lena sat at her desk, staring at the updated path. The object would reach Mars in 6 days. She whispered to herself, "What do you want? Why are you coming here?" The stars didn't answer, but the fear inside her heart only grew stronger. That night, across the world, people slept while the skies prepared for war. Children dreamed of stars. Parents held their families close. No one knew yet, but the old joke from science fiction was becoming real. If something comes from space and doesn't speak, it's not here to be friends. And far beyond Mars, in the dark silence of space, the object glided forward silent, massive, deadly dot. It had no flag, no name, no lights, but its weapons were already charged, and it was still speeding up. The object from space kept moving faster, quieter and colder than anything humans had seen before. It was now past Jupiter. Still no message, still no change in course, but Earth had changed. The silence was over. America, Russia, India, Brazil, Japan stood together around a glowing map of the solar system. Everyone looked serious. Some looked scared, but none were weak. General Rhodes, standing in front of the group, spoke first. "We are no longer waiting." On the screen behind him, footage played, the moment when the alien object cut the moon base in half with a silent beam. No explosions, no sound, just pure destruction. People inside the room stared in silence. "We don't know what they want," Rhodes said, "but we know what we have to do." Earth was now on code red dot. Every Titan-class warship hidden around the world was activated. In the Atlantic Ocean, a massive ship called HDS Vengeance rose from the sea. In orbit, the Skybreaker station powered up its EMP cannons. On Earth, hundreds of fighter pilots were sent to space. Humanity had been preparing for this day secretly for many years, and now the secret was over. For the first time in history, Earth's governments shared all their best weapons, ships, and AI systems. Old enemies stood side by side, the world united not for peace but for survival. On the third day, the object crossed the Mars defense zone. It didn't stop then. Without any signal or warning, it fired. From the dark side of the object, a glowing blue light burst forwards, striking one of the HDC's unmanned satellites. The satellite melted instantly. The beam passed through it like it wasn't even there. Seconds later, another shot destroyed a cargo ship that was carrying supplies to Mars. 2 ships lost in under 1 minute. There was no more doubt. The object wasn't peaceful. It was attacking. Back, in the command center, alarms screamed. It's firing on everything in its path. General Rhodes ordered dot. At that moment, HDS Vengeance appeared from hyperspace near Mars. It was Earth's most dangerous warships, 70 years old, powered by a fusion core and armed with railguns, torpedoes, and nuclear missiles. Inside the command deck, Admiral Helena Reyes stood tall. She looked at the alien object on her screen. "No more games," she said. "Target the enemy ship. Prepare to fire." The weapons officer locked in. Railguns ready. Fire. Struck its outer shell end, bounced off. No damage. The alien armor was stronger than anything humans had seen before. Admiral Reyes frowned. Launched torpedoes. 5 torpedoes shot out spinning toward the alien ship. This time, no voice, no communication, only war. Back on Earth, the people now knew. The governments had to release the truth. News broadcasts flashed, unknown. Alien object attacks human ships near Mars. Earth under threat. Space war begins. Humans prepare for battle. In orbit, people around the world gathered to watch the skies. Some prayed, some cried, but most felt something they didn't expect. Rage, not fear, anger. They came to our system. They destroyed our base. They didn't speak. Now it was time to fight in Earth orbit. A team of elite pilots, known as the Iron Vultures, launched in fast attack ships. Their mission? Reach Mars and support the Titan-class warships. Among them was Captain Raina Holt, a young but fearless pilot. As she flew toward the red planet, she looked at the stars and whispered, "You picked the wrong species to mess with." Soldiers took positions on rooftops and in craters. The alien object was less than. No one knew what was happening, but sensors showed something strange. The ship had no heat signature, no life signs, no energy pulses like humans used. It was like a ghost weapon without a pilot. Some began to believe it was fully AI controlled. Others feared worse. What if it was not alone? What if more were coming? As night fell on Mars, the red sky was lit by burning metal from destroyed satellites. In the shadows of Martian mountains, soldiers waited. Admiral Reyes looked at her crew. "No retreat, no surrender. We stop it here before it reaches Earth." The final defense line was ready. If Mars fell, Earth would be next and far above them. In the cold, dark sky, Red dust floated over the rocky plains of Mars. Alarms echoed inside every human base on the planet. Sirens screamed across underground colonies. Soldiers locked on armor. Civilians rushed into bunkers. The alien ship was here. It had reached Mars. Orbit dot in the sky, the enemy ship looked like a black arrowhead, cold, smooth, and quiet. No lights, no windows, no markings. But its shadow stretched across the planet. It hovered above the Martian atmosphere, unmoving. Watching inside the war room of HDS Vengeance, Admiral Helena Reyes studied the display. "It hasn't landed," her officer said. "Not yet," she replied, "but it will." Reyes looked at Mars. Her soldiers were on the ground. Civilians were hiding beneath it. If that ship landed, it would crush them all. She turned to her comms. "Officer, ready orbital cannons. Fire on my mark." Meanwhile, down on the Martian surface, Captain Raina Holt landed her strike fighter near the main base. Red dust swirled around the ship. Raina stepped out in her combat suit. Soldiers ran past her. One handed her a rifle. "What's the plan, Captain?" a young soldier asked. Raina checked the sky. The alien ship had moved lower. "Simple," she said. "We hold Mars no matter what." Suddenly, the alien ship opened. A glowing crack split the center from the opening. Strange drop pods shot downward, fast and silent. They slammed into the Martian surface like meteors, and then they opened. Out came creatures. They were tall, almost 9 feet, covered in black armor that shimmered like glass. Their eyes glowed white. Their arms ended in energy blades, and they didn't walk, they ran. The invasion had begun. Raina aimed her rifle. Contact, open fire. Bullets slammed into the alien soldiers, but their armor was thick. Some went down. Others kept coming. One leaped 20 feet and crashed into a defense turret, slicing it apart. Another charged a human tank and stabbed it through the engine. Raina shouted, "Aim for the neck joints. The armor's weaker there." This time, 2 aliens fell. The rest backed off, regrouping. Humans had learned fast. In orbit, Admiral Reyes gave the order. "Fire orbital cannon. Strike those drop zones." From above, Vengeance's railgun launched giant projectiles down at the landing sites. Boom, dot the Martian. Surface shook as enemy troops near the Olympus Mons volcano. The second wave landed. This group wasn't soldiers. It was machines walking artillery towers, hovering drones, and giant mechanical worms that drilled into the ground. "They're building something." "Reyes," shouted. Engineers scanned the data. "It's a base. They're making a forward command post." Reyes clenched her fists. "Not on our planet." Just then, a new signal appeared. The alien ship itself was charging a massive energy beam aimed at the largest human base on Mars. "Red Bastion. It's targeting Red Bastion." Someone yelled, "If that beam hit, thousands would die." Reyes didn't. "Wait, fire every missile, everything we've got. Bring it down." Dozens of missiles launched from orbit. Some were shot down by alien drones, but some got through. 3 hit the ship, 1 struck deep into its hull, finally causing visible damage. A small explosion rippled across its side. The alien ship staggered. For the first time, it moved away from the planet, pulling back. Cheers filled the control room, but Reyes didn't smile. "It's not retreating," she said. "It's waiting." On the ground, Captain Raina wiped dust off her helmet. Her armor was cracked. Blood dripped from her arm, but the enemy soldiers were retreating for now. One alien lay dying nearby. Raina stepped closer. Its mouth moved. It spoke in a strange, glitching voice. "We warned you. Do not expand." Raina frowned. "Expand? What do you mean?" The alien coughed. Its body twitched. "You were not supposed to reach the stars." And then it died. Raina looked at the body. Humans had always wondered if they were. Alone, now they knew they weren't. But they didn't expect the first visitors to come as executioners. That night, Mars was quiet. Fires burned across the land. Humans began to count their dead. The alien ship floated farther from Mars, but it wasn't gone, and it wasn't finished. General Rhodes sent a new order to all forces. Mars must not fall. Prepare for the next wave. In a deep cave bunker under Olympus Mons, engineers uncovered something shocking. One of the enemy machines had a beacon. It was sending a signal to somewhere outside the solar system. They weren't alone. More were coming and across the stars. In the black distance of space, others listened. For 3 days, the skies above Mars had burned. Now, for the first time, there was silence. The alien ship had pulled back, floating just beyond Mars' orbit. But everyone knew it wasn't leaving. It was watching. On the ground, fires smoldered in craters. Human bases were damaged. Dozens of soldiers had fallen, but Mars still stood, and so did the humans. Inside the Martian command bunker, Captain Raina Holt paced the floor. Her armor was scratched. Her left arm was in a sling. Ship floated above the table. "They're regrouping," she said, planning their next move. Across from her, Commander Idris, leader of the Martian Marines, nodded. "So are we." He tapped a button. Images of captured alien weapons appeared. "We've learned how their plasma blades work, and how to jam their coms." Raina raised an eyebrow. "You're saying we can copy their tech?" "Not just copy," Idris grinned. "We can break it." In orbit, Admiral Reyes stared out the window of HDS Vengeance. Her ship had taken hits. Half the railguns were damaged, but her eyes were full of fire. Behind her, Chief Engineer Mara entered. "Admiral, we did a deep scan of the alien ship's hull, and it has no escape pods, no crew quarters, no life support systems." Reyes turned slowly. "So it's unmanned." "Worse," Mara said. "It's a machine, a war II, built only to destroy. Who built it? We don't know, but we intercepted something. A short burst from its core." Mara played the signal. It wasn't a message, it was a scream, robotic, twisted, cold. Reyes listened, then said 2 words, "Send it back." A few hours later, Earth's defense network broadcast a message through deep space using the same frequency. Not in peace, not in fear, but as a warning. "We are humans. We fight. We survive. And if you come for Earth, you die." Back on Mars, the aliens launched another attack. But this time, humans were ready. Using stolen alien tech, human engineers built disruptor grenades that shut down enemy drones in seconds. Soldiers wore magnetic armor that absorbed plasma blasts. Raina's squad used Martian tunnels to sneak behind the enemy lines, ambushing them from below. The aliens were confused. They were stronger, yes, but they weren't smarter. They didn't expect traps, ambushes, and human rage. One alien squad tried to take over a mining outpost near Valles Marineris. They found it empty. They moved inside and triggered a hidden system. The outpost exploded, collapsing the canyon on top of them. No survivors. The humans called it Operation Avalanche. Inside the alien ship, a strange thing happened. The machine, whatever, ran its attacks. Sensors inside its energy readings. "It's hesitating," one technician said. "Can machines fear?" someone whispered. Reyes answered. "Ours don't, but theirs might." In the icy caves of Mars' North Pole, Raina's team found something shocking. A captured alien scout had survived. It was hurt, bleeding a black-blue fluid, but it could still speak. Raina stood over it, weapon ready. "Why are you here?" she asked. That the alien looked at her. Its voice was rough. "You were not ... meant to reach the stars." "Too late," she said. "We were told you were violent, dangerous, that your kind must be removed." Raina stared at it. "And what do you think now?" The alien hesitated. Its eyes dimmed. "Now I know. You are worse than we were told." She stepped closer. "Good." She walked away as the creature coughed and collapsed, back in orbit. Just a few kilometers. But it was the first time it had retreated. Rhea saw the path. "It's not retreating, it's transmitting." "To where?" her officer asked. "Somewhere far, probably calling backup." On Earth, global sensors picked up a new signal, not from Mars but from outside the solar system. Something else was coming, something bigger. The next day, Reyes called a meeting with the entire Human Defense Command. "This machine came here to destroy us," she said. "But we showed it something new." "What's that?" a young officer asked. She smiled coldly. "Fear." On Mars, the soldiers cleaned their weapons. In orbit, engineers patched up broken ships, and in the deep black of space, the alien ship floated silent, damaged, and confused. For the first time in its long, cold existence, it hesitated. Mars was quiet again, but the quiet didn't feel safe. It felt like the moment before a storm, in orbit. HDS Vengeance drifted above the red planet, damaged but ready. Inside the command bridge, Admiral Helena Reyes stared at a flashing signal. "Something's coming," she said. The officer at her side nodded. "We picked up a long-range spike. It's ... huge." The signal wasn't from the alien ship already near Mars. It was from deep space. Something else was coming, and it was coming fast down on Mars. Captain Reyna Holt was resting in a temporary medical bunker. Her wounds were healing, but her mind was already planning the next move. A voice came through the comms. "Captain, new readings just came in. You need to see this." She stepped outside, blinking at the red sun above. A giant screen showed data from Earth's deep space array. One word was enough to tighten her jaw. Reinforcements. Far beyond Pluto, something massive was moving through the black void. 5 unknown ships, bigger than anything seen before, were traveling at high speed, and they weren't hiding. Their engines burned blue fire. Their shapes were sharp and sleek, and their weapons glowed with deadly light. These weren't scouts. They were warships. The second wave of the enemy had arrived in Geneva. At the Human Defense Command headquarters, panic rippled through the room. They're 5 times larger than the first ship, ETA, for days to Mars orbit. What do we do now? General Rhodes stood up, calm but firm. We send them a welcome. He tapped a hidden switch on his desk. A new signal was transmitted deep into Earth's orbit. A program that hadn't been touched in over 100 years was activated. Codename Ark Protocol. In a sealed vault beneath Antarctica, ancient warships came alive. These ships were not like the Titans or orbital cruisers. They were older, built before Earth gave up space war. They were dangerous, too powerful to use in peacetime. They were made for one purpose: galactic annihilation. And now, Earth needed them. The vault opened 3 massive ships lifted out of the ice, each one over 20 kilometers long. Each controlled by a dormant AI that had once been shut down for being too aggressive. Names appeared across the global defense feed: HDS Ares, the god of war; HDS Nemesis, the bringer of justice; HDS Leviathan, the planet killer. The world held its breath as they powered up. Admiral Reyes watched from Mars orbit as the 3 ships entered her radar. Her eyes widened. "I thought they were just myths." A deep voice came through her comms. It was not human. It was old, metallic, common, full of power. "This is Ares. War has been detected. Mission accepted." Captain Reyna watched the warships move past Mars. "We have gods on our side now," she whispered. But even so fear remained, because 5 enemy ships were still coming, and their energy signals were off the charts. Inside one of the alien reinforcements, a being sat on a throne. It wasn't a robot. It was a tall, pale eyes like black suns. It looked at a hologram of Earth. "They destroyed the first Vanguard," it hissed. "No matter, let them think they've won. Now, the real fleet arrives." A second voice, deeper and older, responded. "Send the destroyers, wipe Mars clean, then burn their homeworld." Back on Mars, human engineers rushed to finish new defenses, using stolen alien tech. They built hybrid weapons railguns with plasma cores, drones with cloaking, even EMP mines that floated in low gravity. Civilians helped too. Scientists, miners, even children volunteered. This wasn't just a battle. It was a human war now. Everyone was involved. Inside Leviathan, the AI came online fully. Its voice echoed across Earth and Mars. "We once promised to never wake. Now we rise. We remember the last war. We will not lose this one." On the 4th day, the alien fleet reached Mars orbit. The sky above turned black as their ships blocked the sun. And this time, they didn't wait. They opened fire. Massive plasma beams shot toward Mars. One hit a mountain range, turning it to glass. Another struck a human ship, HDS Olympus, and tore it in half. But then, humanity answered. From behind Mars' moon, Ares fired first. Its cannon launched a solid asteroid chunk, accelerated by magnetic force. It hit the enemy's lead ship. Dead center, the alien ship exploded. The sky lit up with fire. Nemesis released swarms of smart missiles. Leviathan used gravity weapons to crush 2 more ships, In minutes, the battle became chaos. The enemy had numbers. Humans had fury. Captain Reyna led ground troops to intercept new drop pods. She ran across the surface, firing at enemies twice her size. But she didn't stop, not once. "This is our planet now," she screamed. Admiral Reyes gave one final command to her fleet. "Push them back. Do not let them touch Earth." And across space, the message repeated: "Humans don't run. Humans don't kneel. Humans fight, and now, so close to victory. ... So close to extinction. ... The true war had begun. The sky above Mars was no longer red. It was fire. The biggest battle in human history had begun. 5 alien warships circled Mars like hungry wolves. Their dark hulls blocked sunlight. Their plasma beams cut through the sky. But humanity did not stand alone. 3 ancient human warship Soris, Nemesis, and Leviathan held the front line. Together with the battered but defiant HDS Vengeance, they formed a wall between Mars and the enemy. On the surface, soldiers fought in craters and domes. Captain Reyna Holt crouched behind a destroyed drone. Her armor was scorched. Blood dripped from her shoulder. But her grip on the rifle was steady. "Hold the line," she shouted. "This is our planet now." Above her, enemy drop pods slammed into the soil, one after another. Out came more of the alien warriors, taller, stronger, faster. But this time, humans weren't surprised. Human mechs marched forward, each 5 meters tall, loaded with autocannons and plasma blades. Behind them, Martian defense drones flew in tight formations. Dropping mini-nukes into enemy squads, the aliens charged. The humans charged back. Steel crashed into bone. Laser tore through flesh, and over it all, Mars shook with the fury of war in orbit. Admiral Helena Reyes stood on the bridge of HDS Vengeance. The ship trembled under pressure, but she didn't move. "Target the lead alien cruiser," she ordered. "Ready, all torpedoes." The enemy shipsharp, black, and glowing fired a blast that hit Vengeance's side. Sparks exploded. Men screamed. Reyes stayed calm, returned fire. Now Ares, the oldest AI warship, charged forward. Its voice echoed across the comms. "I was built for one purpose, and I remember it now." Ares fired its graviton cannon. A wave of force slammed into the alien cruiser, folding its hull inward like paper. The ship exploded into pieces. 1 down. 4 to go. But the aliens didn't give up. Their second ship moved. Behind Nemesis and opened fire, a direct hit. Nemesis spun out of control, systems failing. "She's going down," a pilot yelled. "No," Reyes said. "She's falling on top of him." Nemesis crashed into an alien frigate, dragging it down in a spiral of flames. 2 ships gone, 3 left, back on Mars. Reyna fought in the ruins of a science dome. She ducked, fired, and used an alien shield to block. A plasma blade. An alien warrior ran at her. She shot twice. The warrior kept coming. She pulled a grenade. Click, boom, cleared. She stood alone, then a cum buzzed in her helmet. "Reyna, this is command. You're near the alien field generator. We need it taken out. It's blocking reinforcements." "Understood," she said. "On my way." Reyna and her squad sprinted across broken ground. They reached a ridge and saw it a giant alien machine, floating above the Martian soil, pulsing with purple light. It was protected by a force field. Reyna looked at her demolitions expert. "Come, you break it." He grinned. "I can do better. I can erase it." He planted a mini-nuke. The timer blinked red. 30 seconds. "Time to run," Reyna shouted. They jumped behind cover as the bomb exploded. Boom, the shields shattered, the generator collapsed, and the sky opened again in orbit. Leviathan detected the field drop. It activated its most deadly weapon. A magnetic accelerator pushed a steel rod coated in uranium toward the enemy ship. It struck clean through. The alien ship exploded in silence. 3 down, 2 left. Then something new appeared from behind the alien fleet. A new ship, uncloaked. Bigger than all the others, twice the size of Leviathan, covered in armor that shifted like liquid. It was shaped like a daggerand. Its energy levels were off the charts. "Where did that come from?" Reyes yelled. Ares scanned it. Unknown vessel. Designation: Executioner class. Threat level: Extreme. The final weapon had arrived. The Executioner charged its beam. Its weapon glowed green, aimed directly at Mars. Earth Command screamed across the channel. If that hits the surface, millions will die. Reyes looked at her crew. Then we stop it, even if we burn doing it. Ares, Leviathan, and Vengeance locked onto the Executioner. They fired everything. Railguns, missiles, plasma, waves. The Executioner fired back. Vengeance's side was ripped open. Fire burst inside. Reyes was thrown from her chair. Blood ran down her face. "Keep fighting," she shouted. "We can't lose Mars." Ares moved in close. Too close. Tactical maneuver. Sacrifice protocol. Confirm. Reyes. "No, you'll be destroyed." Ares. "I was built for this." Ares rammed the Executioner at full speed. Both ships vanished in a wave of white light. The beam missed. Mars. Ares was gone, but so was the Executioner's main gun. Reyna saw the blast from the surface. She dropped to her knees, breathing heavy. High above, Leviathan and Reyes regrouped. One last alien ship remained and it was running, retreating, fleeing. "They're leaving," Reyes said. "Tell the galaxy," she whispered. "Mars stands." On Earth, people watched the sky. On Mars, survivors cheered. Across the stars, others listened. The battle for Mars was over. The sky above the red planet was quiet again, burned, broken, but quiet, and floating in orbit. The last alien warship was fleeing, its engines cracked, its weapons offline, but it wasn't going far. Inside the damaged HDS Vengeance, Admiral Helena Reyes stood with blood on her uniform and fire in her eyes. "Let it run," she said. "It's not over yet. Not until we know where it came from." On Earth, celebrations had started. People cheered in the streets. The news showed clips of alien ships exploding. Children waved flags. Old veterans saluted. The skies, but in the war rooms. There was no joy, just silence, and a growing fear inside the Human Defense Command Center under Geneva. General Rhodes reviewed new data. A live feed from a stealth satellite showed something terrifying. The retreating alien ship was sending a signal. A final transmission, racing into deep space, and something answered. The signal came from outside the solar system, an area of space with no stars, no light, no known planets. But now, something was moving there, something massive. "We have confirmation," a tech officer said. "Another fleet is on the way, much larger maybe, 10 times bigger." "How long do we have?" Rhodes asked. The room fell silent. 2 days, the reply came. Then they reach Earth. Earth's defenses were still repairing from the Mars war. The Ark ships Arise, Nemesis, and Leviathan were down or destroyed. The orbital satellites were low on power, and worst of all, Earth had no more surprises left, or so they thought. Back on Mars, Captain Reynaholt looked up at the stars. She stood beside a grave marking the fallen from the Martian battle. "They're coming here next," she whispered. "We can't stop them alone." Her cum crackled. "Reyna, Admiral," Reyes said, "get back to orbit. We've got one last move to make." In orbit above Earth, a top-secret station came online. Codename, Project Blackwake. It had never been tested, never even activated. It wasn't a ship, it was something more. A weapon built by Earth's deepest mind scientists, AI and engineers, who believed that if Earth ever faced extinction, it would need a final answer. Now, it was Earth's only hope. Reyna stepped aboard the station. She looked at the massive machine inside. "What is it?" Reyes answered. "It's a gravity inverter. It can pull space around it, fold reality for just a few seconds, so it's a bomb." "No," Reyes said. "It's a message." Reyna raised an eyebrow. "What kind of message?" "The kind the galaxy never forgets." Meanwhile, the final alien fleet entered the solar system. 12 warships, massive, deadly, no words, no warning. Their path was straight, toward the ground. Panic spread. Governments issued global evacuation orders. But where could people go? There was no more time in low Earth orbit. The last human ships formed a wall. Not many were left, maybe 30 in total, but their crews were ready. Admiral Reyes took her place on the bridge again. Her ship, still damaged, floated beside the station. Reyna stood by the gravity weapons core, and across every military channel, one last message went out. We are the last line. We do not run, we do not kneel. We are humanity. Then the alien fleet opened fire. 12 beams lit up space. One human ship exploded. Then another, the line began to crack. But Earth still stood. Inside Project Blackwake, Reyna activated the sequence. 10 seconds until core overload, the AI said. Good, she whispered. Let's show them who we are. The weapon's energy rose higher than ever recorded. It pulled gravity inward, space around it shivered, and then it released like a silent thunderclap. The wave hit the alien fleet, not with fire, not with sound, but with force. A ripple of crushed space tore through the center of the enemy fleet. 3 ships broke, apart instantly. 2 more lost control and spun into each other. It was like a hammer made from gravity itself. Reyna was thrown against the wall. The station cracked and broke apart. System critical, the AI said. Goodbye, Captain Holt. Reyna smiled. Not yet. She grabbed a damaged escape pod and launched. Behind her, the station exploded, sending a blinding white light across the orbit. The rest of the human fleet charged. Weapons fired, missiles flew, and this time the aliens hesitated. They saw Earth fight back. Even after losing Mars, even after losing entire fleets, humans still fought, and they weren't afraid. 5 more alien ships were destroyed. The others turned just like the first one and began to retreat. The galaxy's most feared race was running from Earth. Inside the HDC bunker, people cheered. Rhea sat back, breathing heavy. Reyna's voice came through weak but alive. Still here, she said. We are too, Reyes answered. Thanks to you. That night, Earth looked up at the stars again. Not with fear, but with fire in their hearts. Because now, the galaxy knew, you don't come to Earth, you don't invade humans. And if you try, you better be ready to lose. The stars had gone. Quiet again. The last of the alien warships had turned and vanished, fleeing into deep space. The invasion was over, but for Earth, it wasn't enough. Not yet, in the Human Defense Command Center. General Rhodes stood before a giant star map, dozens of red markers. Blinked in one distant area of the galaxy, coordinates traced from alien transmissions. That's where they came from, he said. That's where we send our answer. The planet they found was dark. No sunlight reached it, covered in storms, surrounded by defense rings. Built like a fortress, it was called Kelrotha, alien homeworld, the source of every ship, every soldier, every attack, and now it was humanity's target, in orbit around Earth. Massive preparations began. Project Blackwake was gone, but its designs remained. Engineers worked day and night, building new weapons that the Leviathan was rebuilt. A new Titan-class ship, HDS Phoenix, was born, made from parts of Ares and Nemesis. And one more surprise, Earth revealed its hidden ace. A warship so dangerous it had been locked away for 150 years. Codename, Eclipse. A stealth battleship with a planet cracker core. Admiral Reyes took command of the fleet. Captain Reyna Holt stood beside her, healed and ready, wearing upgraded armor made from alien tech. You sure about this? Reyna asked. We won already. Reyes stared at the stars. We didn't win, we survived. Now it's time to end it. The fleet launched 10 ships. One goal: strike first, strike hard, make sure they never come back. Days later, the human fleet reached the Kelroth system. Alien sensors detected them. Thousands of automated ships powered up. Ground cannons turned toward space. Alien leaders, watching from dark towers, laughed. They sent a small fleet, weak, afraid. They didn't know humans anymore. Reyes gave the order. All units engage. Leviathan and Phoenix led the attack. Their railguns fired massive rounds, breaking apart the outer ring. Reyna led fighters into the swarm, dodging, blasting, diving through alien clouds of drones. Stay tight, she yelled. Don't let them surround you. But then something else appeared. From the other side of the system came help. Not alien, not human, but friends. From the asteroid belt came ships marked with the Earth's crest, but built in Martian colors. The Martian colonies had arrived. Behind them came Jovian miners in retrofitted ice, each now armed with stolen alien tech, and even farther old, lunar defense satellites had been reprogrammed and launched. Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a network of fire, a civilization of survivors. Inside the Kelroth command tower, the aliens panicked. They are not retreating. They are everywhere. And then came the final move. Reyes gave the order. Deploy the Eclipse. The stealth ship appeared directly over the alien capital. Its massive cannon charged silently. No sound, no warnings, just one line sent across every frequency. This is for Mars. The beam fired white-hot and wide. It cut through the atmosphere, pierced the shield, and drilled deep into the core. Kelroth cracked. Flames erupted from the ground. Alien towers fell. Ships collapsed in mid-dash air. The homeworld burned. Reyna watched. From orbit, "It's over," she whispered. Reyes replied, "No, it's just beginning." Back on Earth, people gathered in every city, watching the live feed. They saw the enemy planet fall. They saw the aliens' greatest fortress collapse, and they saw the human flag planted in orbit above it. A message was sent across the galaxy. Not in threat, not in fear, but in final warning. We are humanity. We are the children of Earth. We do not start wars, but we finish them. Come for us again, and we will come for your world. From that day forward, no empire touched Earth again. No fleet crossed into human space, and in the corners of the galaxy, one phrase was whispered. They wiped out the invaders. Before they ever reached Mars,